Hi, I'm Cindy,
I'm Kim.
and today we're going to look at a really complex score profile. And Kim, you've never seen any of these numbers.
Nope, don't know who this person is.
Okay, and what we're going to do is we're going to show you two variations of the score report. Okay,
Huh.
and we'll explain why in a minute. But for those of you who like to preview before we kind of jump into numbers. So take a screenshot of that. I'm going to scroll pages here and let you screenshot. Um, Next scroll up. I'm doing this without my glasses on, so man, I hate getting old and not being able to see anything.
I just have to look up at the bottom part. I don't know why I'm doing that.
Yeah.
I
Um,
have I have buy things.
yeah. Okay.
So it's
So
the same.
those are
It's
the test score summaries.
huh.
So let's go back in, and I'm going to make this. I should have made it bigger in the first place, but such
No, I
a
can see it. I can see it.
I put glasses on, so I
Oh, that's
now.
better. I
Isn't that
love that.
amazing? If I had only done
Yeah.
that at the very beginning, everybody would not have been squinting at the data. Okay, so this is a 17-year-old student who attended one of the most prestigious schools in the Seattle area
Hmm.
and did very well at one of the prestigious schools in the Seattle area. But what are some things that immediately jump out to you, Kim?
Wowie kazowie. Full scale IQ is 101, but verbal comprehension is 125.
Yeah.
Something's up there.
Okay, so on this score profile on the left, I did an IQ of 101. On the score profile on the right, I did a 120 based on the verbal comprehension, the associational fluency, all of those kinds of things. And again, I've changed scores of this individual a little bit. So if you're looking at it and doing some calculations,
But wait, will you tell people when you just said that thing, I changed the IQ score based on these things. Did you use that little calculation thing, the GRE, or what do you call that thing?
um,
What is it called?
I ballpark it um, based on the verbal comprehension um, and um, to get and I the software that I have that generates the test score summary automatically does the discrepancy calculation for me, so it just changes them. It doesn't dramatically change the picture. I mean,
Nope.
rapid automatic naming is still clearly an issue.
Yeah, things are still popping.
Phonological awareness is clearly an issue.
Yeah.
Processing speed is clearly an issue. Visual motor integration is clearly an issue.
I mean, this is dyslexia, dysgraphia, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Orthographic processing is clearly an issue, but you'll notice how it changes in the reading.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Huh.
Um, and it also changes in writing.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So the higher IQ one, you didn't put 120 in the little square, but this is the 121 on the right-hand
The
side.
right hand side is the 120 IQ. It's
Right.
right here, right?
Oh, yeah, but I didn't see it in the little thing
So
up.
if you go in and you do a statistical analysis on this,
Yeah.
on the IQ test, the discrepancy between index scores is astronomical. Like, this is a really, really, really complex profile. This kid has really, really high verbal skills, but her ability to think and work in space is impaired. And um,
I think, how did she survive?
well, she went to a school where they allowed her to change the math requirements for college. And she happens to be a good writer. You put her on a computer and say, write, she can write on a computer quite well.
Wow.
because of spell check and
Mm.
the instruction that she had in writing.
But
Okay.
her processing speed that's pretty tricky, huh?
The processing speed is a major issue. This is somebody who needs double time, if not triple time on things.
Is she on ADHD meds or is she not
Yes, she
ADHD?
is on stimulant meds.
Oh,
Okay.
even
So, Cam, what else? So you see the perceptual reasoning, and this is not a typical profile that we see, right?
right.
So the perceptual reasoning with block design, matrix reasoning, and visual puzzles being so
Yeah.
low.
Yeah.
Okay. So on block design, she could not figure out how to orient the blocks.
Oh, that sounds familiar.
Yeah. But she was back on four block figures where she was struggling to build them. So the
Oh,
minute the blocks were rotated or weren't in a symmetrical conformation, she
mm,
could not do this to save her life.
wow.
Okay.
So
Uh,
the thing that dragged her IQ up was that verbal comprehension.
the verbal comprehension. But to look at her and say, oh, you're so impaired is a mistake, right? She has
Right.
got really incredible strengths.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
Part of the reason I did the substitution on the information subtest, so if it's in parentheses, it's not used to calculate full scale IQ, is because of the severity of her rapid automatic naming. Okay. So her ability to
Oh,
pull the specific answers that she needed on the information subtest, and this is where they ask you factual information. You know, it's who was the first president of the United States? What is used to produce energy in a cell?
so
Um,
her intellectual understanding of the world and academia is presented better.
right, but look at her comprehension score. So on the comprehension subtest on the WACE,
Wow.
they ask you to interpret um, social rules and norms.
Wow.
What should you do if you find a package on the side of the road with a name, address, and phone number on it?
Okay.
Return it to the person. What does this
90.
idiom mean? Those kinds of things. Like, how does society work and what are the expectations of functioning in society? And she is incredibly perceptive about
Wow.
what's happening on in and around the world.
And that
Ask
got
her
her
to
through
build
private school.
IKEA.
Yeah.
Ask her to build an IKEA bookshelf. Not
Yeah.
happening. Not
Yeah.
happening.
I can't do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um, on the matrix reasoning, where you're looking at patterns, what's happening on the patterns,
Uh-huh.
she didn't attend to the small details and the relative position of elements.
Uh-huh.
So she missed a bunch of items,
Huh.
right? Where she wasn't attending to, like, there's one where they have some shapes and they combine them together. So they have like colored shapes and they combine them together in a certain pattern. And then they put some other colored shapes down below and they
Uh-huh.
want you to do the same combination. And some move behind and some move in front. She
Mhm.
couldn't do it. She couldn't differentiate between them.
Wow.
Okay. Um, Digit span is not horrible. It's not great.
Hmm.
The arithmetic, obviously, I've told you there's a math problem going on here, which is consistent with the perceptual reasoning issue. So she couldn't hold the math story problems and do them in her head. Could not do it. Like, could do really basic ones. Bob had 7 crayons, he broke 3. How many whole crayons did he have left? She
Mm.
could do that. But the minute you move into something more complex, um, how would you divide uh, 20 pieces of chewing gum among 5 people so that each person gets an equal number of pieces of chewing gum?
She couldn't do that.
That doing that math in her head, doing the division, what she perceived as long division, she couldn't do that in her head very well.
So that indicates perception. Like, what is that? You can't see pictures in your brain?
Well, it's not a matter of pictures, it's those math computations. She didn't have, like, when I see that, I can actually see it in my brain and see the math, but I also recognize
Yeah.
that 20 divided by 5 or 20
Right.
divided by 4 is 5, right? Or
Right.
vice versa, whatever I said. But she can't hold and do those mental computations in math. Everything
Huh.
had to be written out in math.
Huh. If
Okay.
she wrote them out, did she get them right?
Well, when we asked her to do math-based computations using paper and pencil, she didn't remember how to do many of the computations.
Oh.
Okay, so carrying and borrowing and doing long
Oh.
division, which has multiple steps, as you well know, was really, really hard for her. And she had no math fact automaticity.
And she's in 12th grade?
And she was in 12th grade.
Wowie.
Okay. So, and then we go in and we look at the symbol search. Like her eye couldn't remember the detail to differentiate between the symbols.
Hmm.
And then
Wow.
coding, again, slow processor, can't remember the symbol, having to constantly refer up, working meticulously, working slowly, could not do it.
Hmm.
So to say her that she simply has an average IQ
Mm-hmm.
is to misrepresent her gifts and her
Mm-hmm.
weaknesses.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, this is pretty interesting.
Okay, then we move to look at the difference between rapid automatic naming and associational fluency. So, associational fluency is name items in a category, and
Wow.
rapid automatic naming is naming pictures or letters quickly and accurately.
Oh my God, this is like a perfect example of the difference between word retrieval and rapid automatic naming.
Yes,
Because we keep thinking it's the same. It's not the same.
right. So, that confrontational naming, pull the right name quickly, read accurately what's on the page. This is that profile that shows the difference between confrontational naming and having a large lexicon with a robust vocabulary that can name in a category.
So the confrontational naming is the rapid automatic naming where they
Right.
show you pictures.
When you
And
see the picture of a sheep, you can only say sheep. You can't say antelope. You can't say banana, right? You've got to name what it is.
yeah, can you give me an example of the word retrieval that
Uh,
she did so well on?
name, um, I'm trying to think of one that I can use that isn't actually on a test.
Oh, like a
Name modes
field?
of transportation:
I see. Okay.
car, plane, truck, bicycle, motorcycle, walking, scooter. Da, da,
But
da.
obviously it gets more sophisticated if she was in the 93 percentile. Then
Well,
yeah,
it's just can you name within the category? So
I
she has a
see.
robust lexicon. She knows lots of things, but can she get it out, right? Um,
Wow.
okay, look at the phonological processing.
Oh boy. Oh boy. How did she read in this school? She must have listened to everything. Did
She
she
listened to
listen?
everything.
I
Okay.
see.
Notice that the processing speed pops clearly at the higher ability, right? But
Mm-hmm.
even at the lower ability, processing speed is still clearly an issue. So
Mm-hmm.
she needed tons of think time. She
Mm-hmm.
could get there, she just needed time.
Mm.
Okay. All right. Then we go to visual motor integration, which
Oh my
again,
Lord.
right hemisphere,
Yep. So she's typing everything.
typing everything, and the visual perception. So the visual perception, if she can't differentiate between elements in a figure, how does she do block design, right? If she can't see where lines are crossing, or if the sizes are different, or if a figure is skewed, how do you do block design? Okay. And I know a lot of people out there go, well, that's in the low average range. Yes, but when your verbal skills are at a 125, it
Mhm.
feels like your eyeballs won't function
And
correctly.
like, could she do geometry? I mean, does that
She
impact it?
100% struggled with geometry.
Yeah.
100% struggled with geometry.
Yeah.
Okay. Orthographic processing, her eye doesn't pick up the detail between words, right?
Right. Right.
So she didn't accurately read what was on the page and
Mm-hmm.
didn't have automatic recognition of when letters were reversed.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then when she went to go read aloud,
Wow.
I mean, we obviously see kids who are more impaired than she is. And this is a significant improvement from where she was when she started
Mm-hmm.
because she got quite a bit of intervention. And then look at her reading comprehension.
I
So
see.
at or slightly above, within the range of grade level, right?
Yeah.
But that took her going back and rereading the passages to get to the content.
Did she have full intervention? What did she have? Like,
She had Wired for Reading, which is a structured literacy curriculum.
okay.
She was at a small private school for elementary school,
Okay.
with a really robust pull out 3 day a week program in structured literacy.
I see.
And it helped, but she
Yeah.
still doesn't decode fluidly. And when
Hmm.
she's got a sentence, she can use the context to determine if it's a true or false statement. But when she had to read words and read the words accurately with no context around them, that's where she's making mistakes, right?
Hmm.
And then she also did on the Wyatt, she did sentence combining and sentence production, which were low. I just didn't throw those in because we were
Okay.
trying to do this somewhat fast. But notice her writing fluency doesn't show up at the lower IQ.
Hmm.
But given the processing speed, given the rapid automatic naming, you can kind of see how we crash her system. So when she goes to write, and she writes beautifully, but she
Wow.
writes very slowly. And so it's not, her handwriting is super legible, but
Huh.
there's not a lot of content there. And she doesn't always catch grammatical errors and mechanical errors. Um, and on the math, she doesn't remember processes. She can't recall the sequence of steps to do things. She doesn't understand place value.
How
Um,
did she do science? That must have been hard too.
well, she didn't do physics and chemistry. She did biology and environmental science,
I see.
versus which are more memorization and
Hmm.
conceptualization
Yeah.
than mathematical.
Right. Hmm.
And she's gone on to do well in life despite this really complex profile, with a lot of stuff going on. Super supportive family. And, dad would go to the moon and back to get her what she needed, which was great. Not that mom was not involved, but dad was kind of the lead in all of it, which I love. I love when dads are deeply involved in this. So for college, she had a modification in math curriculum. I was able to advocate. I attended one of her meetings with the Disability Support Services program and was able to advocate and explain to the psychologist who ran the program as to why she needed the math modification. And she said, I get it. I 100% see it. I know exactly what you're talking about. This is what we're going to do, and laid out a program that made
Wow.
a lot of sense, really practical, real life math,
Hmm.
versus there's no reason that this individual needs to go do calculus.
No,
This
no.
is an individual that if you put her in the right work environment, in the right career field, she will lay it all out. She will give you everything that she has. She will do an excellent job. Just don't expect her to do the math.
Hmm. Hmm.
Um,
So this must have
and
been is this a smaller college that, okay.
smaller private college.
Mhm.
Um, she got double and triple time as she needed. Um, the
This is good
program
for
she,
parents to understand that you can get these accommodations
yeah,
at college.
exempted from a spoken foreign language.
Good.
And the program that she went into did not have American Sign Language, so she just got exempted altogether. But, was majoring in the humanities, more psychology, sociology, history, English kind of vein. And, you know, off she went. Had she not gone to a really supported program, it would have been a completely different story, and
Mhm.
she wouldn't have gotten what she needed. But uh, it is it's amazing when kids get the support that they need, what they can go and do in life.
I mean, that is extraordinary. Um, and her knowledge and her ability, her verbal comprehension and her word retrieval. I mean, that's what saved all the other things.
Right? This is where we say celebrate the individual's gifts and help them use
Yes.
their gifts to do well in life.
Yes.
Let's not force you to go into sciences and maths if that's not what works for you.
Right. Right.
Let's get you to be robust in other areas and give you tools. So, hey, when you go to IKEA, they actually have a service that will build everything for you.
That's right.
Use the service,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
Um, let's not put you in a situation that is doomed for failure. And you
Yeah.
are capable of learning and you've done incredibly well in a rigorous academic program. Let's make sure that you get what you need.
But this is an example of knowledge is power. And if you see something that's off when the kid's little, do something and do
Yes.
it. Do it
Yes.
now. Don't wait.
Right. And had she not gotten the support that she needed early on, she never would have made it through SAS, ESA Prep, U Prep
Wow.
kinds of programs. So those
Right.
are the top private schools in the Seattle area
Yeah.
with robust learning support programs, academically rigorous. Students leave there, they're ready for college. They're often doing college level coursework in high school. And so she's done incredibly well.
Yeah.
But she knew her strengths. She knew what she needed to do for accommodations. She was not afraid to ask for accommodations.
Mhm.
When she felt she couldn't voice what she needed, she asked for help. So she would call other people in to say, this is a situation where I'm not going to be able to explain it well because it's so emotional for me. So I need to bring somebody in with me.
So she was trained at self-advocacy in addition to everything else, which is huge.
Yes. And no, teach your kid when to ask for help and when to call in an adult that understands.
Yeah.
There are times when parents need to step in and advocate for kids, and it's okay. And
Mhm.
there are times when kids need to advocate for themselves, and we want to teach them that skill set, but let's set them up for success.
And
So,
people think self-advocacy is automatic. That is a skill like reading, writing, whatever. It doesn't come automatically. So
yeah,
they have to be taught that.
yeah. If this is helpful, questions, problems, let us know. Oh, let's talk about what we would do intervention wise for her if we had her and she just had free time. At this point, I would go back and do a review of 6 syllable types. I
Mhm.
would go back and remind her the rules of syllable division and revisit some of the Greek, Latin, and Anglo-Saxon word origins. I would look at her writing using computer-based tools.
Mhm.
Let's look at pre-writing strategies. Are you using all of them effectively? And then are you using good editing tools, be it human or computer-based editing tools when you've got your final product? This
Mhm.
is a kid that needs pre-reading, especially on
Mhm.
more complex texts.
Mhm.
Pre-read. Like you've got to know the vocabulary, you've got to know the context of what you're reading, you've got to have mental images or pictures, like you've watched a video or something to give you context for what you're reading.
And remember, that's like Schmoop, that's booklet or Spark Note. I mean, all those things help.
Right. Um, and in math, calculator is your good friend. This is a kid that needs a math notebook, right? Here's how to work the problem. Here's a sample problem. And I've got tabs on the side. So I've got rational numbers, I've got fractions, I've got conversions, I've got tabs. So when I need to find something, I can flip to the right tab, page through, find my example, and then I know how to work the problem. Um, she is somebody who needs to watch the movie before she reads the book,
Mhm.
especially if she's reading rich old literature. So this
Mhm.
is somebody who should be at the Shakespeare Festival prior to reading Shakespeare, and prior to going to the Shakespeare Festival, she needs context of Shakespeare. He was a punner. He used lots of symbolism and imagery in his writing, and understanding that and knowing there are times when they say something and that's not what they actually meant.
Mhm.
and getting the translation of Old English into current English
Yes.
in Shakespeare. They make
And that
books.
and that's No Fair Shakespeare.
Yeah,
And it's
great,
free.
great versions of that. But she can go off and be highly successful in life if
Mhm.
we give her the supports that she needs. Questions or comments? We'd love to hear from you. If you like this, let us know so we can do more of what you like and what's helpful. And have a great rest of the day.
Thank you.